Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Seablock. Today it's time to get into the ore melting business, and it's time to get there for good. So we're going to fetch all the things that we need. Between the last episode and this one, I fixed up a few mistakes here. So I didn't do anything wrong with the pipes back in the last episode, as was kindly pointed out. I just misplaced one of those clarifiers. And of course I can use that purified water later, but right now my primary focus is somewhere else, and that's with the ore production facility, because we have no iron plate production as of now. So I want to change something about that. Alright, let's drop down the ore pressures. Having a lot of those. And between this and the last episode, I looked up this recipe, or during the last episode, and oops, there. And as was pointed out, I'm pretty close to the next step here, where I can produce pure iron ore, which will be a real big benefit. But we were going to need, first off, a new material that I don't have on production as of yet. But what's even more problematic there is the advanced facilities I will need for that. I'm pretty sure I will need the advanced facilities, or do I not? I don't know. Oh, I have a... No. Here, see, you can only do these recipes in the tier 2 facilities, so the tier 2 facilities will need bricks. I don't have bricks on my production line as of now. So I came up with my plan to produce that stuff right now out of... with a mixed output, and later on we're going to fix that. But for now I have no other option than to do it as we're used to. But that's not that horrible at all. So let's get that going, shall we? And also I crafted a ton of new yellow belts, because I really despise those gray ones. They're only moving with 7.5 units per second, and that's frankly sad horrible. It's horrible speed. Okay, having it like this. I really like the inserter configurations here. So we're needing some more output options here. So we're going to output a lot of crushed stone and crushed sapphirite. Oh man, it's again a lot of inserters necessary here. So let's do it like this. And the other two are going... Well, let's make it like that. And I'm going to put these up together in a splitter right away, and going to split off something for the crushed stones we're producing. I'm plugging this in here in the middle of this place because I don't want to keep it that way for a longer time. I want to replace that as soon as possible, and this should work differently in the future, but for the time being I'm accepting it as it is, as a pretty imperfect solution to produce me some iron and copper ore. I don't want the copper ore production that randomly, but we're going to get there. I'll do the same thing I always do. Let's produce some landfill. I really have to organize that somehow differently in the future. This can't be the solution every time. So here we go. This can't be my only go-to solution, but for the time being I don't mind. This gets rid of the crushed stone we're having here, and that's all I want to do right now. Okay, so let's get deeper into the smeltering process. So I'll take the crushed sapphirite and turn it into iron plates, or no, we're not doing this. We're now needing the ore sorting facility. That's what we're needing. Do I have a sorting facility right now in my pocket? No? Let's pick up one from below. Because I have so many facilities already running down there. Or had them running. And I connected all the slag onto one belt, which is hopelessly overburdened by that, because there are 20 units of slag running on that single belt with 15 right now. But with Seablock, I don't mind that much lately. To try too hard to maximize things right away. We're doing here our first casting facility, and that's okay. It's okay that we're only achieving that. Okay, so here goes the ore sorting. I think I'm going to lay that away into some completely other area. Where do I have some landfill? I want to expand right away again. Oh, my inventory is full. Damn. So I don't want to produce any metals in this area because I have kind of like reserved this area for other projects. So maybe I'm just going to... How can I make myself some room? The filter frames. Certainly can drop them in here. I mean, I pre-produced them for that. And apart from that, let's open this chest here. All this technology produce. Science produce. I don't need that right now. That was the bathroom. Some kittens had some fun, I guess, from the sounds of that. Alright, so let's do it like this. Well, before I have to run too long here, I'm going to do my job over here. Let's do this here. And yeah, well, let's grab some landfill. At least I'll have room in my inventory for some landfill. Alright. So during the next 10 episodes or such, I want to make my base a little bit more efficient. I want to get rid of a few of those real clunky and lengthy walking areas. Like here, I just have to walk so much everywhere. I want to stop that in the future. So basically, none of these iron plates and copper plates I will produce now will flow back into this horrible area up here. I want to reorganize myself completely, because I feel like this is pretty much the only way I can get things done in an orderly fashion. If I return into my chaos there, there's just nothing's gonna change. It's pretty hard to fix a chaotic setup. Usually it's better to just start anew somewhere else. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to head north, I thought, and practically look at this area up here as my new base. And down here we have the power production core, and the rest of that, well, let's see what I'm going to do with it. But for the time being, I'm going to use this area here for, well, for example, for the smeltering, because it's time. And then I'm going to think about where I want to pipe these new materials into next, which kind of production is necessary there. But I guess until I hit that target, I'll have a lot of thoughts in my head about the things I want to do. I think producing clay is a very important thing next up. Really important thing. So we're going to sort crushed sapphirite ore. Exactly. Okay. And then we're getting all this nasty stuff out there. So how much do they does this thing managed to process. Perfect. Oh boy, we're out of belts pretty much. Oh damn. It means I have to salvage some stuff from down there. Right now I'm pretty hard struggling with my inventory space, to be quite honest. The inventory space is one of the biggest problems here. So all these things are gone now. So it's good. So that's one other good thing here is all these materials that get soaked into my inventory right now. I can just toss them into the facility down there and get rid of them quite easily. These are all the remnants of my old ore production. And I'm going to make good use of those parts, because we can salvage that. Alright. So these old parts of the belt system here are very, very valuable. Okay, so I can drop a lot of crushed stone in here. Every time I pass by here, I can basically drop it in. And the saphirite ore can go in here. And the slag can go in here. Awesome. So you see, things are easily sorted out here. Okay. So let's check out the necessary inserters. We're going to need 4 inserters for the input. And that's 2.7 and 3.6, so 4 for the output. Alright. And we're going to have a lengthy filtering process. Okay. So let's filter out the crushed stones first, because I really like to get rid of that stuff as early as possible. And now's the question, where do I want to lead that stuff to? So the crushed stone gets into this, gets led away into this direction. Ideally, I would lead it over here. Well, why not? It's a little bit of a lengthy thing, but well, it is just a temporary solution. But this brings me to the point that I really want to consider more thoroughly that I'll need a centralized spot where I process all these back runnings, you know. And the backflow of these facilities is quite crazy. And there's also the question how where I will put that slag into. How much slag is in these pockets here? It's all full. So I have a lot of slag buffered here already. And shame on me, for now I'm going to extend that buffer. And we're going to get oh no, that's bad. We're going to get rid of that later. Right now, I don't feel like I'm having the centralized solution that I'm looking for these slag stockpiles. And honestly, slag stockpiles are really not bad. I'm going to lead them back to where they belong one day. It's all valuable produce. We're not going to let it go to waste. Okay, so we're still not done here. We're still on the way to filter things, but now we're getting the pure ores that we want to have, and now we're able to drop down the blast furnace. I think that's the thing I need first. Oh, and it needs charcoal as well. Luckily, I have a charcoal pipe here. Yeah, so that's going to be the first step. I just want to know how many units... Oh, okay, I'm far away from satisfying the intake of one of those guys. 6 units per second. We're going to take a while until we hit that. Okay, so from there on, the steps will be, we're having one step where this stuff is going to be turned into molten stuff, and the next step is where we're going to put that molten stuff back into iron plates. So we're needing just 2 things. Wow, that's efficient. Okay, so let's do that. I think I'm almost done. I assumed that I have way more work ahead of me, but I just noticed that it seems to me that I'm almost done. Awesome. No, this doesn't need filtering because it's just the last thing left. Okay. So it actually doesn't even need a splitter. So there goes just iron here. Just a good old iron. Okay, so let's check out if I understood everything correctly. But I think I did. So in the... Oh, that's a little bit narrow here. Let's leave it like that. Start with the iron though. Seriously? Do we have to play it like this today? I don't know. Let's do the copper first, whatever. So casting, and there's the blast furnace. So we're going to take the iron ingots. No. That's not what I want to do. Where's the recipe for the molten iron? We're doing that in the induction furnace. These machines are still quite confusing to me. So there goes the molten iron. Ah, but I forgot one step. So let's set up some Helmod. I'm fed up with this. I thought it was it was easy enough for me to overlook it like that, but little did I know. Okay. Let's do this. Let's compute that by factory. We're wanting 1 factory running, and I need to have this. My brain doesn't work like that. It's too warm. It was a terrible warm day here. Okay, so we're first turning that stuff into ingots in the blast furnace. Okay, so the blast furnace is the first step. And there go the ingots. Oh, no, not iron ingots, actually. We're taking copper ingots, of course. So we're needing... Well, we would need a few inserters. We're not needing that amount of inserters. Let's just drop down 3. But I'll need the charcoal here as well, so I'm going to branch that off like here. Because this stuff here... Ooh, no. No, I need more belts. Okay, let's do that. Where the belts are needed, there are belts needed. So let's see how much tin I have. Once I have the metal production finally at a centralized spot, things are going to be a lot more comfortable with that. Because right now it's just a pain. But, well, I forgive myself due to the insane complexity of this mod. I'm happy I am where I am. Proud of I'm proud of it, actually. And everybody who has come this far should be. So, going to salvage a few old machines while I'm handcrafting that stuff. While I'm impatiently waiting to finally getting this machinery running. Seriously. Can't wait for it. So once the casting processes are up and running, I think the next goal I want to tackle is the brick production, and then we're going to simplify the metal production processes there. I think that's going to be the schedule for the next few episodes, because this will open up a lot of new options in the future. So there's a lot of old produce here. Goodbye, my friends. So this is This is freeing up a lot of clutter here. Okay. Not quite done yet, but we're starting to get there. Okay. So next step is the place where this stuff is turned into molten copper. So there goes the induction furnace. Boom. I think I can just transfer that like directly between those two machines. Well, maybe that's a little bit of an overkill here. So just like this. And this machine has a pipe, and last but not least, we're putting it all back into a casting machine. And then let there be plates. Awesome. I mean, literally, awesome. This is such an easy and simple way to produce metal. Compared to what I did before, I feel like I made a big progress, a big step here towards the future. Wow. Okay, so we really don't need too much room here, as I see. Let's grab a few units of landfill and do the same thing for iron. Seriously? That's all we get out of this amount of crushed stone? Wow, that's inefficient. Okay. Oh man. Well, whatever. Let's do it like this. I mean, it's not like I'm able to do this in a larger scale right now anyways. So the real crazy thing is that somehow I realized today, while I was planning my next steps, that I'm still actually in the starter base phase of Seablock, because I still haven't developed a system where I can put up working clusters of the factory. I'm still nitpicking around with these little things. I mean, it's starting to get more organized, like in these areas, but there's still a lot of unorganized stuff going on here overall. And yeah, it's amazing me how long this phase goes. But well, I guess it would have been all a lot easier if I would have played the mods that are included here a little bit more before I went to Seablock. But well, I like it that way. So let's do this, and the casting machine goes there, and the only thing I'm missing now is the charcoal. So let's see. So this runs with electricity, these need fuel, this runs with electricity again, so only these buggers here will need that fuel. Okay. So and that's good because that makes it quite simple. So finally I'm working with automated fuel inputs on my metal production. I mean, it's still pretty crude overall, but I don't mind. I'm happy with it. And iron plates. Oh man, that's so good. Alright. So, since I'm now back in business when it comes down to metal production, so what to do next? I'll connect that poor guy here. Okay, so I have a small production of copper and iron now again. So what about the other metals? The other metals like tin and lead, I can produce like the same. And I just figured I want to produce them like this as well. So we're going to do this. Blast furnace 2 times. Casting machine 2 times. I just want to set up the same wonderful machinery I have in the induction furnace. Because it is just too useful to ever do it again with the furnaces and the way I did it before. Okay. So... where's the ore, though? Like, seriously. What's going wrong here? The mineral sludge is not here anymore. And that's because we're not having any charcoal filters anymore. And that's because the belt here is somehow not present anymore. Okay, whatever happened there? Okay. So I also want to replace this system here with proper belts because it's just they're bad, and that's just it. I guess I'm going to let this live like that. Okay. So now I'm having a steady production. Wonderful. Next steps are the rubid ore and the bobmonium ore. I'm going to set up 4 of each for the time being. I mean, I'm absolutely sure that I'm unable to sustain production on this whole array because I don't have the slag to produce in that to satisfy all the machines down there yet. So this machinery here will need 30 slag and I only produce 20 right now. But everything, one thing at a time. So as under a worst case scenario, I would need to mix them up like that. Maybe I should do that. I think that would be smarter. So we're going to delete those, and I'm going to set up like 2 of them with bobmonium and 2 of them of rubid, because somehow I have the slight feeling that it might go really wrong if I do it otherwise. Okay, so we're needing ore crushers like this. Or wait a sec, what am I doing? Why am I doing this so hard? There we go. So we're going to crash rubid ore. If we sort rubid ore, we're getting lead and nickel. Okay. And for these smeltering processes, I'm needing pure materials. So, I can do also bronze now. Okay. So out of that stuff, I'll process 2 kinds of metals. Damn. How to organize that. And also, I actually don't want to process that metal right here. I just noticed that. But is it really a wise choice to think too much about that right now? Because I won't be able to sustain much more than that right now. I think it would be arrogant to think that I'm able to sustain much more than that right now. It's going to take a way longer time than that. So I might as well use the space that I have right here. Okay, pretty sure that I'm not able to fully stress out this machinery here. So I want to output into this direction here. Simple reason, I can pipe out the crushed stone into the neighboring system there. There it goes. So, shortest way of intrusion, possibly. No! Not like this! I'm lacking some underground belts, but luckily I can pilfer some. No, I can't. These are still needed, sadly. Damn. But these are completely unnecessary here. Oh wow, I will have to haul some materials here back and forth. But we're getting there, okay. But, so. Let's do a little T-merger here and lead out that crushed stone like this, and the Rubit ore needs to get sorted now. Do I have an ore sorting facility somewhere? Ore sorting. No, I don't. So. Well, well. Let's loot that old equipment. Alright. Oh. So we're having a full inventory again. Okay, step by step, step by step. I can output. I can drop these materials into the factories there. That's good. Frees up my inventory as well. Okay. So now back to the ore sorting. So if I drop it down here, I have the ability to tap into the other processes as well. That's good. Okay. So wait a sec. Did I set up something? Damn. What the hell is wrong with me? There's never any... Like I said, it was a warm day today, but luckily I noticed it before somebody else had to tell me that. Oh man. Well, well. Silly me, there's only slag to manage. Okay. So, let's manage the slag. Alright. Let's do it like this for now. This is not really a beautiful solution, but I don't want to stay on this method longer. I just want to get rid of it as soon as possible because it's going to implode on me. And I have a better method of doing it available pretty soon as well, so I don't want to overstress the effort here. So, what is nickel used for? Let's check it out. Nickel. Okay, usage. Processed nickel, can't do that. Yellow metal catalyst, can't do that. And advanced nickel smelting. But we're going to need things I don't have right now for that, so... Oh man, off in the buffer you go. Too many buffers. But luckily you can shoot buffers. That's one of the best things about Factorio, that you can just kill your buffers. If they're annoying you too hard, just kill your buffers. Let them die. Okay. Let's do this here. So, you see, I'm again doing the spaghetti here, but I don't know. I don't care. I am a pastafari. I don't mind. If you don't know what a pastafari is, you should check it out. It's some spiritual enlightenment for you. And I actually mean it in a certain way. Okay. So we have now lead ingots. Wait a sec. We're going to need some oxygen gas here. Naughty. I didn't And there's also some sulfur dioxide output. Of course, it would have been too easy, right? So, well, I'm going to manage that later, honestly. We're going to hope that the bobmonium ore is a little bit nicer with me. But I don't think it is. So, before I embarrass myself again, let's check out this process here with the tin. So, the tin is tame. Awesome. The tame tin. Now I just need to set it up. Just noticed that I was leading the crushed stone there, but I wasn't processing it. It's not really useful, you know. So we need belts. Let's grab some more belts. And then the next thing I will do, as soon as everything is set up, I will automate a yellow belt production. That's what I'm going to do. And now I'm going to sit there and smile for a pretty long time, believe me. Just going to smile. Probably off camera, I don't know. But luckily we're really getting somewhere now. So I'm destroying all these old things that we're not needing anymore. It's good. It's certainly good. Alright. Going to make myself some belts here. And get rid of that crushed stone again. I said get rid of it, not leave a portion of it in my pocket. So let's do a pretty similar thing. Crush bobmonium ore. Output bobmonium ore. Split off crushed stone. It's always the same routine. But this time I'm super lazy and I'm just setting up a new assembler over here. I really just want to get it done as quick as possible because I just noticed that it's not really necessary for me to make it too well here. It just has to work somehow. It's the most important part of it. It just has to work somehow. So let's put up some ore sorting facility. And then I'm at least able to set up the tin plates. And that makes me pretty much able to produce everything. And since I then have all the plates I need, I'm also able to produce bronze. And bronze enables me to produce fast inserters. And that's awesome. And the lead ingot production, that's going to be no problem at all. It's just a I just didn't look there properly. So wait a sec, what do we get here? Silicon, tin, and slag. Okay. I'm out of belts again. No, I can't do it like that. I need to do it in steps of 5 because I will get a few more belts in my pocket like this. Need to produce quicker. So, well, let's do it a little bit like that again. So it feels very rushed right now, and it is probably, and that's probably because it is rushed, but can't wait for everything to be set up. And then I have to check out how clay gets produced. I have no clue about that yet. So one good thing about all this is I'm going to accumulate a few new materials like silicon. I haven't had that stuff yet, so that's certainly a plus. Alright, so we're going to put it up like this. Can I bring some charcoal over here? Yeah, perfect. So, probably have to reroute the charcoal later, but for the time being, that's good. So there goes this, and now I can finally do what I wanted to do the whole time. Get this done. Alright. It's a real big step for me. Really wanted this to be running this at the end of this episode. I mean, sure, it's super chaotic right now, and well, it's basically everything that it didn't want to have, but well, I am quite happy that that I got the advice that I can produce the ores way more directly and more comfortable in the near future. And that was some very sound advice, because otherwise I would have just plunged into unnecessary intricate designs here. But well, that's that for today. I hope I got everything right, but let's check out this and run the outro. So thanks for watching, friends. Drop me a comment, and as usual, we're going to have a little bit of a talk after this episode. Can't wait for that. And well, help me with likes, subscriptions, you know the drill. I would be super happy to get some support to make this video series a little bit more visible. You know, Google needs some convincement. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.